our next speaker has been, it is so, the STEP Center is so close to her heart that I think it's about 2.5 years ago, that I was told about this day. And I was told that whatever it is I was doing, whatever it is that was happening in my life, you make sure you're here, because this is something very, very special to me. And when I listened to the passion with which she spoke about the STEP Center, I thought to myself, here is a very, very committed woman. Someone who, like the parents at the STEP Center, all understand the importance of what it means to hold on to a dream. With a welcome and project overview, please help me welcome the tireless Peta-Rose Hall, chairperson of STEP.
Thank you. I'm no longer a parent at STEP, but I was for many, many years. My daughter Elizabeth attended there. So no? Okay. And I think when you have a child with multiple disabilities, you're a little bit dazed initially, because of course you're not expecting to have a child with multiple disabilities, and your coping mechanism goes off kilter. But I found a school. It was more than a school, it was more like a family in the STEP Center. And when I arrived there with Elizabeth, my daughter, the founder of the school, Ann Chung, you know, she was just such a bundle of energy. It was just, she motivated us, she captivated us, she moved every mountain that was in front of the STEP Center. And I remember one day driving into the school, and she was running down the driveway. It's a very short driveway. I don't want you to make, you know, we're located in the hall at the St. Margaret's Church, so it's not a very long driveway. And she's running down with these letters in her hand, and she comes to the car window and she says, we have to lobby the Minister of Education for the STEP Center, because we're a private school and we need funding from the ministry. We need to be recognized under the ministry umbrella. And I looked out the window at her and I thought, this lady must be mad. I said, listen, we live in Jamaica. People really, children with disabilities are not on the map. And, you know, you are now going to go to the government to get funding. I said, and I don't think this is going to work. But she was insistent. And everybody at the STEP Center, every parent had to sign a letter, had to write their own letter and sign their own petition to the ministry. And I see nods in the audience, because I think Anna Wallace was one of those parents who was coerced. I think we were coerced to write this letter. But the STEP Center is, it's an irrepressible group. No matter how many hurdles are put in the way, in the DNA, in the foundation of that school were the founders, two ladies who took on the whole society. And they're no longer here, they migrated, but I think the DNA was passed on through the generations of parents that have come through that school. And I just want to say that this is indeed an auspicious day. We have waited for this day for a very long time. We didn't know when it would come, but we never lost sight of the dream. And I think we're proof that dreams come true. So hats off to Anna Chung and Bambi Zaidi, who had a dream for the STEP Center. And they never lost sight of it. Today, the STEP Center is not only a school, but it's used as part of the training for the Micro College University and the physical education students up at the University of the West Indies. And you know, when you come to STEP, it's very, you think to yourself, well, not much could be happening here, but it is amazing how many wonderful things happen at the STEP Center. The STEP Center is involved in outreach, and it plays its part in providing services to the community of children with disabilities. We've done training, The Environmental Foundation of Jamaica has given us grants over the many years of being associated with the STEP Center, and we've been able to run seminars for caregivers in rural Jamaica, which is not really serviced. You know, the services that are available in Kingston are few and far between, so you can imagine in rural Jamaica how scarce and how hard it is for parents. And the STEP Center, through their outreach, you see, what people don't understand is the skill set that is at the STEP Center is nowhere to be found in Jamaica. We have embodied physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy as part of our daily program. And there is no other school in the entire island of Jamaica that offers that. So the skill set that we tap into, and that people can tap into, is really vast, and it's amazing. Some mornings you arrive at STEP and there are parents there that have driven in from the country, who heard about STEP, who have come to STEP to have their children assessed, have get assistance in knowing where to go, what to do, when can they come to STEP, and the whole 9 yards. And I just want to say that on board we have Andrea Cameron, and many people don't realize the talent of Andrea Cameron. But Andrea Cameron has been associated with STEP. I went there and saw her, and I've been there a long time. And I would say she's part of the DNA of STEP. And her, thank you, her motivation to get our children moving, many of whom can't move on their own, is just unbelievable. The STEP Center is a private school, and it's really supported partially by fees. We get a small amount from the ministry, and the minister is here, so of course, like all schools, sir, we would love an increase. But the STEP Center fought for that subvention. We spent 8 years lobbying the ministry to get recognized. But we did not give up, because in the DNA of STEP Center parents, there's no giving up. So in a couple of years ago, I'm not even sure how long ago, Andrea Cameron and I came up with a business plan for the STEP Center, because we thought, well, we're not, recognized, and we really have to survive for the sake of these parents and children. And we formed a card business. I don't know how many of you walk this way into the major tent here, but if you get a chance, you can look at that poster. We did a physical count of the number of cards that we have sold, and it's 150,000 and climbing. The STEP Center has established this card business really through the generosity of many, many very prominent artists in Jamaica. And I just want to acknowledge Anne Ventura, who I see standing there, because Anne was one of our first, and she gave generously, and she's continued to give. In fact, we put out notelets subsequently under her name, and I just want to say she's been a friend of STEP for many, many. She doesn't give up on us. We have developed a website. We got funding from the Canadian High Commission some years ago, and we developed a website. We put out cards on the website, and I'm happy to say that there's a charity card website in the US that we tapped into, and we've been on their website for the 2nd year running. And we had such an amazing response last year to our cards. There's one on the board that says "Joy to the World." I have to say that was very well received. It's a collage done by the children of the STEP Center. And in fact, one lady wrote, Hillary Sherlock, who is our principal, to say, "Hillary, I think that the cards are too cheap. They're so beautiful. The quality is so good that I think you could sell them for a little bit more." So we took that on board and we realized that we're onto a very good product. So many have asked over the years, how have we survived? And I tell you the truth, sometimes we wonder ourselves, how have we survived? There were days, I think, when Anne did not know how she was going to pay the staff at the STEP Center. But we persevered, and it's amazing how many doors open for you when you start to help yourself. I want to commend the Digicel Foundation for recognizing the STEP Center, for honoring the important work that we do, for providing a grant with which we couldn't build this building. The land that we're sitting on, the down payment for this land came from our card business. So, I can see the figure today, $1.6 million, but we generated through our own selling, and I mean, it was really, Andrea's clasping her hands, but she understands. We rang our hands many times, but we got there. I just want to say that the Digicel Foundation is working. I've noticed they're working in the area of special needs children, and I just want to acknowledge that so few foundations would have done what you are doing now. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for leading the way. It's very, very important. It's very, very special. I think you're going to be a game changer. How people see special needs children. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to bore you too much. I just want to say that I just have a couple people I just want to mention specifically. I want to mention Hilary Sherlock, who has been our principal, a director on our board for many, many years. She has to deal with the kids, the program on a daily basis. She continuously works to tweak the program to make sure that it's of a certain standard. And some years ago, we partnered with a school in Manchester through the British Council. And when she arrived in Manchester, she was happy to come back and report that the STEP Center program was on par. We didn't have all the bells and whistles and all the various nice shiny equipment, but the substance of the program was 100% on the mark. So congratulations to Hilary and her team, the hard-working staff members at STEP and our kids over there. Environmental Foundation of Jamaica, as I mentioned before, they give us grants from time to time, and I want to just thank them and recognize them for all the work that they do in early childhood and for special needs kids. The American Women's Group was mentioned before. They have been stalwarts. I can't say more. And I want to mention Mrs. Thwaites, not because the minister is here, but Mrs. Thwaites is a friend of STEP. She comes to STEP. She directs our Christmas plays. She is there every single week. You drive up, Mrs. Thwaites is there. She is on, I think she's here. Here she is, over there. She's just disappointed today. She didn't wear her STEP shirt, but she's a member of STEP. And I just want to say very, very, we are so grateful, Mrs. Thwaites, for all of your moral support and physical support. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Minister Thwaites, Minister Robinson, Father, Mrs. Landon. My board directors, who without this, we would not be here today. They give freely of their free time. They volunteer for the foundation, and they're very dedicated to what we do. To say it's a pleasure to be here this morning doesn't really quite encompass how I'm feeling this morning. I unfortunately started crying when Peta-Rose was talking. The area of special needs for Digicel Foundation is one that is very important to the company. It is the thing that translated to me when I was looking to take on this job as executive director. Their focus, their passion, their commitment to fulfilling a gap that's existing out there was, I would say, the reason I took this job. And I think that during the last few months, I'm coming in on the tail end of something that makes me feel very proud to be a part of, and that you guys have given us this opportunity to partner with you on this. and knowing what it's going to do, not just for the children over there, but really also for the parents and for the caregivers and those that toil every day. And it takes a special heart, a special soul to be able to do that. Always giving, and sometimes not getting back. And this time we're able to give back. I want to explain why this is important to Digicel Foundation. Some of you may or may not know that in 2003, our patron, Dennis O'Brien, who's also the chairman for Digicel Foundation, was a chairman for the Special Olympics in Ireland. And I think from that moment on, this community held a very special place in his heart. Every year, in every country in the Caribbean that Digicel operates, they host that Special Olympics team wherever they are to go. And it's something that I know that they're very committed to, and not a lot of people know about it. It's not touted, it's not said, but it is something that is very important to us. You know, a few years ago, maybe it was last year, our patron came to Jamaica and was doing a tour of some of the schools in their special needs, and he made an announcement. And when he makes an announcement, and it's an announcement that we start scrambling and writing down, we will have 3 centers of excellence in the area of special needs by 2014. This is number 1. We are about to look at or get through with number 2, and we're on to searching for our number 3. So this is a commitment that is non-negotiable. It's something that we are pushing very much for. And I'm very happy to be a part of that as well. We spoke about putting the community of special needs on the map. And we just gone through a process internally with our directors at the board of what that's going to look like. And we will be putting this on the map. That is a directive that I have over the next few years. So one of the things that we'll be looking at is a walkathon, which we are planning to do sometime later on the year, that is focused on the area of building awareness of the special needs community.